Hi, this is Tom Malone. This is week 7, assignment 1 for Advanced Ballistics, BBS 200. Question is, provide a summary and description of the following concepts as it relates to reloading. Cartridge overall length. Cartridge overall length is the overall length of the cartridge from the base to the tip. And what that's going to tell you is, the proper overall length. If you meet the minimums and don't go past the maximums, it'll chamber, it'll fit in the magazine better. If you do it consistently, it affects your accuracy and certainly your chambering and how your round does consistently in the accuracy department. Concentricity is how the round sits, the bullet projectile sits inside the case that make up the entire cartridge. That has an effect on accuracy as well, and how straight it goes down the barrel, which in turn will be accuracy. Projectile experimentation. Projectile experimentation essentially is if you've got a rifle that you have done everything, you've got the right weight load, you've got the right powder charge, you've used the right primer, you have the right brass, it's chamber checked properly and measures properly, but you're still not getting your MOA accuracy where you want it. Let's say you're at 1 MOA at 100, you want it to be 0.5 MOA at 100 or something like that. The next thing you would do is put it on a concentricity gauge and make sure that your projectiles are centered inside of the cartridge itself before you crimp it down and make sure that it's right. Projectile experimentation, once you have the weight down and you're pretty sure your concentricity is good and your powder charge is good and everything else is good, you might want to use different kind of manufacturers' projectiles. You might want to even cast your own in some cases. But for the most part, you should experiment with Sierra, Nosler, Hornady, or one of those other premier bullet makers and use those. And you should use 120 rounds as your base for each type when you do your experimentation. Make sure that your temperatures, your environmental temperatures are similar, or you have compensated for those, your altitude, your pressures, all those things when it comes to projectile experimentation. Slow fouling bores, they tend to, the dirtier your bore gets and the more residue collects in it, whether it be from powder or copper or any other residue from firing the round, has an effect on accuracy. So you have to look at that and maybe change up your cleaning regime. Instead of cleaning it every 50 rounds, you might want to clean the bore every 250 rounds and see how that affects it. And then again, it always goes back to measuring and testing. Same thing with heavy copper fouling bores. You just have to clean them more and use a good copper remover and defouler. So all those things have an impact on accuracy, extreme accuracy at range with a rifle. When I say extreme accuracy, I'm talking about less than 1 MOA or a half an MOA at 100 yards, certainly way out there at 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 600 yards, your MOA is not going to be as high. But if you can get it down to 0.5 at 100 yards using adjustments on all 5 of those topics that we just talked about, you probably have a pretty good shooting rifle. That's it. Thanks.